Hello, welcome to help video for topic 8.1, problem number 7. First, I have to say I got so excited that this was one of those questions you needed help on because I love that the challenge that it provides, not only does it say that in its title, but I know this type of problem can be very challenging. But what I love is when you do a challenging problem and you get over it or through it, the success you feel is just amazing. So let me read it. A map of a highway has a scale of 2 inches to 45 miles. So that's something I'm probably going to want to know. And the length of the highway on the map is 8 inches. Okay. There are 17 restaurants. Oh, I love this kind of problem. Oh, so there are 17 restaurants equally spaced on the highway, including one at each end. You are making a new map of a skill. Oh, look at this. A new map, and we're going to be changing it to this. So how far are the restaurants on your new map? Oh, wow. So we have a lot of things here. So we're really looking at on the new map, the restaurants. The rest stops. This is where we have to keep focus. We know we're not done until we get this question answered. And we know that that's also the maps because of the inches. So we have the two pieces here, right? Okay. So the first thing I would always recommend is this is a great problem to draw out. So I love drawing pictures as one of my ways of working problems. So if I have a map of a highway and it's 45 miles every 2 inches, and the map is 8. Well, before I just want to draw the picture. Oh, I just did sound effects. Yes, I did. And another. Okay. And this is a highway. So I'm just going to have I don't have the option of white. So I should probably not done yellow because that indicates 2 lanes of traffic. But you're not drivers yet, so we won't go into that. Okay. So we have this highway and people are traveling. And we know every 2 inches on our map is 45. But we know we have it as 8 inches. And a double, like the quotes, is how we represent inches. So if it's 8 inches, how long is it really going to be? So let's set this up. And we're going to do miles over inches just because we can. So miles over inches. Please note, I've always said this since the beginning of the year. I'm always putting my labels. I'm setting it up. That way, when I get in the midst of my work, did I set it up right? Because that's a good way to make a mistake, easy way to make a mistake. So 45 miles. Oh, you know what? Let me find my little pen. Okay, and that's over 2 inches. We know it's 8 inches. So we need to go from here to here. So how did we do that? I know, you guys are yelling at the screen, I hope, by this point, not just sitting there idly going, how long till she tells me? Hopefully going 4, which means if I'm multiplying by 4 there, I need to multiply 45 by 4. So I'm going to change a quick color. Now, I personally know 2 times 45 is 90. So that would actually be 45 times 4 is going to be 180. If you don't know that, that's okay. You can always use a calculator. So 180. So this is actually 180 miles. Okay. The rest stops are on the new map. Okay, so we're still worried about the new map. So we know it's 180 miles. And we're going to 180 miles. We need to convert that. So I guess I should pick a whole different. Oh, maybe I can orange. Can I get orange? Oh, that's not quite orange. Oh, I guess. Okay. Oh, hey, I think I did it. I love orange, just in case you didn't know that about me. So I'm going to go for 1 inch is 30 miles. So on my new map, this is my new road. My 180 miles, that stays the same. but I need to know how many inches it's going to be. So 30 miles, because remember I'm still doing miles, over 1 inch. I know I have 180 miles. So how did I go from 30 to 180? 3 times what gives me 18? Did you just say 6? Excellent. So I'm going to multiply by 6. 1 times 6 is? Yes, you are so right. It is 6. So what did I do wrong? Nothing. I didn't do anything wrong. So this is going to be 6 inches on my map. So this is the map, and it's representing the 180 miles. Now I have to go plotting in my rest areas. So the thing I know is it said, oh, maybe I can get pink. Pink and, oh, close. I was going to say hot pink and orange are like just awesome. Okay, so 130, there are 17 rest stops equally spaced, one at each end. So I have a rest stop here and a rest stop here. So then I need to divide it up. If I take this area of 6 inches and I divide it into 16 even pieces. Now the reason I'm doing 16, because from here to here would be 1, here to here, like this kind of thing. So when I divide it, it'll give me my final one, but it won't necessarily account for the first one. So it would be 16 plus 1 to get my 17. So if I'm taking my 6 inches and I'm trying to divide that out by my 16, let's see, I'm going to pause it. Okay, so I used my handy dandy calculator, and then I looked back at the screen and went, oh my gosh, I hope you guys are following everything I did. So what I'm working on right here is the orange and the pink. And so I know that I have 6 inches and I need to divide the 16 rest stops among those 6 inches. And I'm going to put 1 here at the very beginning. So that would be my total of 17. Just when I'm dividing by it, it's not going to account for it. So when I did that, I got wrong buttons, 0.375 of an inch. Okay, so that's more than a quarter of an inch, less than half an inch. If you're like actually drawing this out to scale, we could measure it very precisely. So if I do that, I know every 3 75 is what it's going to be, is how far. So if I was measuring from here to here, would be 3.375. From here to here, again, 0.375, I'd have another rest drop. So every so many inches. Now, let's see how my answer works out. Did I go down the wrong pathway? So I'm going to type in, first of all, the rest stop is how many inches apart I'm looking. Is there anything that says I should round? Nothing says I should. So I'm going to put in 0.375, hit enter, and it said good job. So my math was correct. I am going to erase everything for a second. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in here because some of you might be like, Mrs. Latimer, couldn't I have, when I knew this was 180 miles, couldn't I have just divided that by 16? And you can. And if I did that, so let me check real quick on my calculator, 180 divided by 16 is going to be every 11.25 miles, or 11.25 miles. Okay, but we're looking for it in inches. Now, if we wanted to verify as a way to check, if I take that initial 0.375 that I got, and I multiply it, because remember that's how many inches. So I'm going to multiply that by 30 to get to my miles. If I multiply that by 30, I do in fact get 11.25 miles. So my mathematics does check. And then just to re-clarify or to restate, the reason I divided by 16 is because I'm going to cut this into 16 pieces. So I would, I'm not counting all these pieces. I mean, there's really not 16 there. We know that. But here's my first one. But most of us, when we're dividing, not most, but when we're dividing, we would be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, the spaces between, right? So we're counting spaces between. This first one doesn't have a space before it. So that's why we did 16 dividing by, because we knew it was really 16 pieces that we're dividing it into, plus the one initial piece. I'm hoping that makes sense. This is one of those really challenging questions. I hope you challenge yourself and try, like, even if you get this one, try the next one, like similar questions, just to keep challenging and stretch your brain. Draw out the pictures, draw it out to scale. This is one of those really good problems to draw. I would use a ruler if you're going to do it to scale and try to figure out so you can actually count it and physically see what's going on, so you can help develop that conceptual piece and not just my rational explanation of, well, you're counting how many spaces between, and we have to start with, so we have 16 plus the one we start with at the beginning. Okay, I've rattled on way too long, so hopefully this helps. If not, please email me, text me, let me know.